weight at night has shown to reduce the immune system? And do you know that increase in weight also affects the immune system? Join me on this week's episode as we speak to dietitian Ni, who is going to delve into why we need to pay attention to our diet during this COVID era. Stay tuned and enjoy the show.
Eating late at night has shown to reduce your immune system, because what really happens is that when you eat late, now eating late, you can eat late, but it depends on the food. But let's look at normal Ghanaian setting. Our foods are quite caloric dense. When we say caloric, that means the energy inside is very high, like the banku and the okra stew with oil. Yes, so your indomie with a lot of oils and stuff. Now, eating that late at night, what really happens is that it's going to increase your weight with time. Not eating once. Well, if it's going to continue, you're going to increase weight. Now, when you increase weight, it affects your immune system. So people that have high or they've gained weight excessively, they have lower immune system.
Hello, you're welcome to this week's episode of the PV Show. On this week's episode, we are taking a look at why you must pay attention to your diet during this COVID era. And we are privileged to be with dietitian Ni. And today is a wonderful day. He's going to take us through a brief session on balanced diet, why we need to pay attention to what we take in during this COVID era. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you.
All right, so you give us a little introduction about yourself.
So as you said, my name is Dietician Ni, and I'm a nutrition educator, both on social media and other media platforms. So that's what I do.
Okay. All right, so when we talk about diet, many of us have our own definition when it comes to eating a balanced diet.
Okay.
So from the dietitian's point of view, what is a balanced diet?
So I'll say it from the health perspective, not only the dietitian,
Okay.
but in general, when we say a balanced diet, we're talking about a meal that contains a variety of foods,
Okay.
right? And this variety of foods comes with different nutrients that makes it balanced. So basically, your meal should contain carbohydrates, should contain proteins, fat, vitamins, and minerals. So when you have these nutrients, it makes it balanced. Then you get these nutrients from a variety of food sources.
Okay.
So let me give an example. The banku and okra stew with fish is a balanced diet.
Okay.
Banku has the carbs, has fiber. The fish gives us protein.
Okay.
The okra stew gives us the vitamins and minerals and the fat. The little palm oil gives us fat. So that is a basic local balanced diet that we can eat here.
Okay, but then would you say Africans, Ghanaians to be specific, are even paying attention to taking a balanced diet?
Yeah, I'll say that is it when we do a retrospective study into a balanced diet with the African lineage, right? Africans have a very low risk for diseases like diabetes back then.
Okay.
Yeah, because of their diet, they eat these balanced diets.
Okay.
They eat different portions. So let me give you an example. When my grandfather is going to eat banku, you still get the grains inside. If they're not eating fish, you can get some plant proteins like beans.
Okay.
So at the end of the time, they eat. But you see, with this time, most of our foods are, I'll not say one way, are imbalanced because one, probably where the person is staying.
Okay.
Access to food is a problem.
Okay.
Or probably economic factors, the person can't afford a variety on the same table. So I'll say that we can still do better.
Okay.
The first thing you need to know, you just get the idea, understanding of what a balanced diet is, and you plan and you can get a balanced diet. Yeah.
All right. So let's take a look at this COVID era.
Yeah.
Are there some foods that we can take that can actually boost the immune system?
Yeah, so for the COVID time, there are lots of foods that you can eat that can boost your immune system. I don't want us to skew ourselves to the vitamin C thing that everybody is trying to see, but I will say on all media platforms that I've been that eating a balanced diet boosts your immune system right away. Okay. Now, it's not only vitamin C. Generally, the minerals and vitamins helps boost immune system. Okay. Proteins boost the immune systems. Your fiber from the carbs boost the immune system. So when you have all these foods together, your immune system is will be upright.
Okay.
So back to the question, there are a lot of foods you can eat
Okay.
that can give you a balanced diet. But let me just add something to it. Sometimes somebody's going to ask, how light is a balanced diet? The first thing is that plan your meals. That's one of the things you know. So how do you plan your meals? So probably you have a week. You can just draw a small menu chart. Today we'll be eating, let's say Tom Brown for breakfast. Probably because you are working, you come back home, eat rice. So just plan a 2 meal for the family for the first 7 days. Now, when you plan the 7 days, you have to buy the raw foodstuffs. Now, when you buy the foodstuffs in bulk, it's very cheaper than buying single. So you buy, and when you buy them in bulk, you're able to get a variety of foods. So when you plan, you buy them in bulk and you get them very cheaper prices. Throughout the week, you see that you not be eating only one food. Probably eat beans without fish today. That's the proteins. But the next day, probably we eat rice and egg. And the next morning or next day, you can eat rice and meat or something like that. So throughout the week, you see that if eating even with the proteins, if you're eating different types of proteins, you've taken different types of carbs, you're taking different types of foods, and with that planning and going about that, you can eat a balanced diet throughout the week.
Okay, but looking at this planning issue, for example, let's say I decide to have a menu, and then I'm to take maybe breakfast at 10, lunch at 2, and then supper at maybe 5. I close from work very late, so for supper I'm not able to take it. So in order for me to still have a balanced diet, I decide to take my supper around let me say 10 o'clock with the same balanced diet. Is it healthy?
Yes.
Is it okay?
So what I would say, let me just correct something first. We have the right healthy eating time they're supposed to take, and breakfast latest should be 8 in a.m. The next meal should be around 12 to 1. So there's a 4-hour gap. There's a reason to the 4. I'll come back to that. Then the next meal will be around 5 to 6. So you have a different 4 hours difference of eating. Now, eating late at night has shown to reduce your immune system, because what really happens is that when you eat late, now eating late, you can eat late, but it depends on the food. But let's look at normal Ghanaian setting. Our foods are quite caloric dense. When we say caloric, that means the energy inside is very high, like the bangkung and the okra stew with oil. Yes, so your indomie with lots of oils and stuff. Now, eating that late at night, what really happens is that it's going to increase your weight with time. Not eating once. Well, if it's going to continue, you're going to increase weight. Now, when you increase weight, it affects your immune system. So people that have high or they've gained weight excessively, they have lower immune system. So basically, you can eat the balance, but you see, the balanced diet is not about the time; it's about the food. So you can eat balanced diet at different times, yes, which is a healthy thing. But let's watch the time. So that's what I explained the timing thing too. So let's go about with this and then find.
Okay, all right. So someone wants us to find out, do you think there are things we are missing out when it comes to taking a balanced diet for healthy living?
Yeah, there are lots of things that we are missing out. The first thing we'll talk about is skipping of our meals. Now, if you skip your meal, the tendency of you eating like, let me use non-balanced diet is very high. I'm gonna give an example. Let's say I skip my breakfast. So around 10, I'm very hungry at the office. The likelihood I will not go for a whole meal. Why? Because I feel like 12 o'clock, I'm going to eat. So let me go for something small. Now, when you go for something small like this, the snacks, most of the snacks are high in fat, high in sugar. They are not really balanced. So it affects your balanced diet eating pattern. Yeah, so that's one of the things. Then what I'm going to say is that let's focus, let's go back to the planning. When you plan your meals, you can still eat a balanced diet throughout the time. And those are things you need to do.
Okay. All right. Another question also goes like this. Can we eat fruits with vegetables and other foods at the same time as a way of boosting the immune system?
Yeah, so you're trying to ask, we eating fruits. Now, let me just correct the notion here. Eating a fruit or a mixed fruits is not a balanced diet. So fruit only gives us the fructose or the glucose or the carbs. Let me use the word carbs with fiber, They don't have protein. So most fruits don't have protein. So vegetables the same thing. So it's not a balanced diet. So you can see somebody eating fruit as like a breakfast. It's not an ideal way. But eating fruits is a way to boost your immune system because they contain these antioxidants.
Okay.
Basically, these things help boost your immune system. Vegetables are the same thing. So you can still get your iron, your zinc, your other vitamins and minerals that help boost the immune system from both the fruits and vegetables. So basically, don't eat it as a whole meal. Add it to your meals. Yeah, but for the fruits, one thing is I see people eating and drinking fruits at the same time. Now that combination is good, but it's only if you're eating the two you're eating is within the required amount of food you're supposed to eat at that time. If it's beyond that, they are overeating, and that's so. So what we advise is that just let's save ourselves.
Okay.
Keep the fruits for snacks. So probably after breakfast around 8 o'clock, you can snack on just an apple or probably 4 fingers of banana around 10. That is fine. It adds up. That can boost your immune system, but just don't join everything. Then you're overeating. That one there, not eating.
And overeating too has its side effects.
Yeah, that's so overeating leads to the weight gain because you've eaten. You see, when the body has an amount of food it's supposed to eat within a certain time. So let's say my breakfast probably I'm supposed to eat like 500 calories. Like the amount I'm supposed to eat is 500 in the morning, and I eat 700. The extra 200, the body saves it as glycogen, like excess energy stores. Then this excess, when the more excess adds up to it, it's being converted to fat. And the fat is stored in our bodies for production of energy later time, but that's what makes us gain the weight. So what we always want people to prevent eating excess. Yeah, within a setting, you can just spread your meals very well and be fine. Yeah.
All right. I hope we are following through this discussion, and we want to quickly go into this COVID issue to help ourselves, especially when it comes to what we take. Dietitian, we want to find out, is it okay to take cold foods during this COVID era?
Yeah, the temperature of the food is basically doesn't affect anything, but it basically affects, let's say, the texture or the quality of the food. That's why we have some food, we store them in the cold or the lower temperature or the warm parts, but it doesn't affect anything. Basically, what I want to say is that like we should take care of the food safety parts. If this food is supposed to be preserved or is supposed to be stored cold, keep it cold. If it's supposed to be stored warm, keep it warm. Because if you change that temperature, it becomes like sport or something. It breeds certain microorganisms that can affect your body or cause some infections or probably some problems that you may not like at the same time. And one thing you need to know is that these things, if you don't take care, it can break down your immune system. And with COVID, we all know your immune system matters when it comes to COVID. So let's take care of the temperatures.
Okay, so someone also wants to find out, what if he has banku in the fridge and then decide not to warm it? He's so hungry and then decide to take it out and eat.
Yeah, you see, for the banku, yes. You see, what you can do is that if probably I just came out or returned from church, what you can do is just boil water. Whilst you're going to change your body, just leave the banku.
I don't have gas.
So what you do is that then leave it to thaw. So like let it like the ice melt and everything. But you need to make sure that if the banku is very cold, the soup or the sauce you're eating should be very warm. Yes, don't eat both at the same time. But one thing you need to know is that check whether the banku has molds on it. If it has molds, I'm pleading with you, we need to throw it away. There's a reason why. Because, there's a research shows talks about aflatoxin, some of them, things that affect us, especially related to the carbs food, like the maize foods, right? Like banku. You see somebody having banku and there's molds on it.
Yeah,
you see,
when you take it and wash it.
So when you wash it, we don't know the extent at which that molds has, let's say, penetrated into the banku. Those things you don't see with your eyes.
Yeah.
The only thing we see is the yellow part.
Yeah.
But there's an organism that does the yellow part. We don't know where it is reached. So we advise that, Charlie, it's very painful, I understand. Yeah, with the economic issues and everything. But it's better you throw it away than you go to the hospital and waste more money. So just Truth. And then bread.
Okay.
When you find anything very funny like that, please you can drink the cocoa raw.
Okay.
Add sugar to it, you won't die. It will be okay, and that will be very fine. Yeah.
All right. So before you leave, in this COVID era,
Time. Yeah.
what advice would you give to the general public when it comes to what we take in?
Yeah, so let me just summarize with healthy nutrition and lifestyle. Healthy nutrition. So there are basic things that you can do to increase your things that you can do. First, I'm going to talk about eating a balanced diet, as you just said. Don't limit yourself to particular food unless you're a vegetarian or something. That one, even the vegetarians, they are supplements unless you're a vegetarian. So what I would say is still eat healthy. If you are also physical as healthy or exercising is healthy, it's very exercising also. Not necessarily going to the gym, but at least when you wake up in the morning, you go into the gym. You can just jump if you have a breeze, but at least or some reggae or you can just jump if you have necessarily going to the gym for like 15 minutes. Okay, just go to the gym 15 minutes. Just there's a reason I'm saying that for like water, we need a lot of water. Just instead, especially when you're in water, we need the temperature very high. Just instead, and eat more fruits and vegetables. So when we talk about vegetables, not taking salad. Just instead, when you buy the rice, get some. When you buy the rice, vegetables that has colors. When you buy the rice, vegetables that has colors specific. There's a reason like the colors has colors. Phytochemicals. They also help colors has specific like just get some greens. They also help specific orange phytochemicals. Because the carrot and everything. Orange the diet. Greens. Then the snack. Instead of you going for orange greens, going for beer snack. Instead of you going for a fruit, it's okay. Sobolo is better than snack. A fruit, sorry if I'm killing some of the fruit. Then the better. Like Sobolo is better than Sobolo is better than the snack. Natural ones that we have. Sobolo has a lot of antioxidants because of the herbs and the ginger that makes the pineapple and everything. So antioxidant one.
Okay.
Call it, yeah.
All right. Thank you so
Thank
much.
You very much.
It's a great honor to have you on the
Thank
show.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so during this time. Yes. Have to take health very serious. And also take what take in what very serious. Very dietitian. He has said a lot. And I hope that we lot. Correct the mistakes we've been making when it comes to taking balanced diet. When it comes to taking watching the balanced diet. Thank you for watching the PV. Make sure you use your nose. Wash your hand with soap under running water. And make sure you sanitize your hand frequently. And make sure you sanitize your hand. You sanitize. Stay safe. Bye. Under running water. Sanitize your hand frequently. Stay safe. Bye. And make sure you